Mr. Kendricks, come up. We're going to take over for Herb Weston. All right, you can sit right here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Come right in here right now. Say hello. Say, I want to call this meeting to order.
I'd like to call this meeting to order.
All right. Good job. Tell us a little about yourself.
My name's Howard Kendrick. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. Actually, Callahan, Florida. It's probably about the most northeast part of Florida you could reach. It's probably about 30 minutes away from Georgia, but I can tell you I'm truly excited to be here. To be a Dodger and to be able to be in you guys' presence. I've been excited to get to work here and just to be a part of this team because I know what it means to be a Dodger. And like I said, I can't say a whole lot more, a whole lot less about the Dodger organization so far. Everybody's been such a class act coming over this way. And, I'm looking forward to seeing the city more. And, even though I'm only about 20 miles away from where I used to be. But, like I said, I'm definitely excited about being up here in this part of L.A. And I guess the real L.A. team is what everybody always says. So,
very good. In this chamber years ago, Mr. Walter O'Malley, who came out west and encouraged by a member of council, Roz Wyman, and also Kenny Hahn, they took a helicopter ride and they looked over that area there, and there was a very big housing crisis in Los Angeles after World War II, and there was a plan for a large housing development there, but they said, what about that? And that's where Dodger Stadium was placed. And Gil Cedillo is the great councilman who represents that area, and also a second baseman for the Rough Riders of Roosevelt.
Willie Davis is our contribution to Dodger lore. He played at Roosevelt in the 60s. But it's a great story that you're telling, and it's fitting that this Wednesday, featured yesterday in our Los Angeles Times, was the story of Culture Clash. They're in their 30-year anniversary, and they have a play called Chavez Ravine that tells the story of how the Dodgers ended up, as you talk about, in Chavez Ravine. Some people think that the Dodgers were responsible for moving the families out of Chavez Ravine, but that's absolutely not true. What in fact happened was that there was a housing crisis. As you remember, someone had the idea that we could build housing up there. And so they started the plan and they moved people out of there. The plan failed. And so then the land had been abandoned, and that's when O'Malley came out from Brooklyn, was in the helicopter, saw the great ravine, and then decided we'll put the stadium there. And so there was a separation of time. Many people mistakenly believe that. If you see the play, it opens Wednesday. It's Culture Clash. It's 30 years. It's a repeat of Chavez Ravine at the Kirk Douglas Theater in Culver City. Begins February 4th, Wednesday, and tells the whole story. And then tells a great story. It's focused around Fernando Valenzuela. It's great to be a Dodger, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's a big difference.
I already noticed that, everywhere you go, people recognize the Dodgers. I was in Anaheim forever, and, the fans there were great, but the Dodger fans are on another level.
You were a major league player. Howie, you were a major league player, and you played for a great team, and the fans are great down there, but you are a Dodger now, and there is nothing in the world like being a Dodger, and you know that now, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely starting to realize that and understand that. He was just asking me about growing up, as a youth playing baseball, and the biggest thing for me was community. In my community, if you got in trouble, my grandmother would know about it before I made it home.
Yeah.
And everybody knew
right.
that, if something happened, I knew it was going to get back before I ever made it home. Everybody knew everybody.
That's right.
And you talk about community, people pitch in and help each other, and they do things, that, not everybody would be asked to do, but you might not have liked it at times, but you did it. And I knew that if I didn't do what I was asked by another adult or somebody else in the community, that it'd get back to my grandmother, and I knew I didn't want it to get back to her.
That's right.
So community is something that's definitely big, whether, you're in a small town or a big city. That's your way, that's your voice, that's the people, and when you give back to that, which is very important, I know the Dodgers are huge on being present in the community, being the success. It's very important to be a success on the field and what you do, but it's also great to be a success in your community and to be able to give back to everybody around. And I know the fans here are great, and I'm actually looking forward to it. And I want to play well for everybody here, and hopefully we can bring a championship here. But I think it's very important to establish the community and be a presence there. as well as it is to be a presence on the field.
We're very excited to have you here with us.
Now, what I do want to say that this man can play ball. I've been your fan for many, many years. He is a scratch second baseman that has a little punch, a little pop in that bat. But what I wanted to say, Howie, you see over here all the way in the corner that we have our colleague, Paul Koretz. He's suited up. He wants to see if you can get him a tryout with the L.A. Dodgers. Mr. Koretz, the floor is yours.
Well, I just have to say, I have to admit I'm also an Angel fan, but I'm especially glad to see the best Angel become one of the best Dodgers. Look forward to watching you play here in Chavez Ravine.
All right, guys, we have visitors. Come on in. Come on in. We've been waiting for you. Everybody, let's give the Dodgers a round of applause. Thank you for everything. We are too. We are too. Oh, yeah. Mr. Labange, did you recognize we have the greatest general manager to ever manage a baseball team? Just walked in. You see him on the... I'm going to let you talk about Mr. Dodger.
As we stand here in the great John Farrell Chambers, I spoke earlier about someone very special in Vin Scully and Rayford Johnson, but there's no coach in the history of Los Angeles that has inspired the city and inspired the team and has taught as much as this man. If I ask Officer Johnson if you could move to the right, Officer Johnson, code 3 to the right, code 3. Let's give a great welcome to the Dodger of all time, Tommy Lasorda. Hey, Tommy.
Mr. Cedillo, the floor is yours.
Mr. President, you and I have done many great things in public service. We had a great career in Sacramento, in the State Assembly, in the State Senate. We've traveled the world. We've been ambassadors for our state and our nation. We've had a lot of great experiences, but coming home to be in this Los Angeles City Council, one of the greatest things that there is, and particularly if you are the representative of the 1st District, is to be that public servant for the greatest baseball team that's ever picked up a bat or thrown a baseball. And that team is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of young boys and girls throughout this nation and the world get up, particularly in the summers, some with no shoes, throwing a ball with a bat, some without a glove, with one hope, one dream, one aspiration, and that's to come to the City of Angels and to see, watch, or play for the great Los Angeles Dodgers. We have with us today one of those. ¿Dónde está? Uy. Oh, aquí está. Unos de ellos, voy a presentar primero y después el gran jefe del equipo, pero quiero presentar el gran famoso, la cara de los Dodgers de hoy y del futuro. Viene de Cuba a México, a los Estados Unidos, el famoso, el joven y el futuro de nuestro equipo, el Dodger. ¿Cómo se dice su nombre primero? Yasiel Puig. Eso. Muy bien. ¿Quieres hablar? Sí. No, habla.
Tommy, diga una palabra al público aquí, por favor. Una palabra al público.
No, yo voy a presentar él.
Dale.
Pero a todos sus fanáticos en español. Aquí están.
Hola, buenos días para todos los que están aquí. ¿Tú, yo?
No, tu querido, tú hablas.
Buenos días para todos los que están aquí. Un placer que me hayan invitado aquí a este lugar.
Good morning, everybody that is here. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Es un placer conocerlos a todos los que están aquí presentes y este año vamos a hacer todo lo posible por regalarles el campeonato que siempre me espera.
It is a pleasure meeting all of you that are here, and this year, we're going to give you guys the championship.
Yes.
Este año, gracias a toda la organización de los Dodgers, hemos hecho un gran equipo y ahora vamos a estar entrenando en Arizona para obtener lo que queremos.
This year, thanks to the organization, we have come together with a great team, and we're going to go to Arizona to train.
No, y que esperen lo mejor de nosotros, que nos sigan apoyando, que sigan yendo todos los días al estadio y que nosotros estamos muy agradecidos con eso.
You can hope to get the best from us. So please go to the stadium and support us, and you're going to get the best from our team.
No, y ahora le vuelvo a dar las gracias y le damos el micrófono a los presidentes y a Tommy Lazotte y a esa gente.
Now I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to thank everyone, and I give the microphone to Mr. Tom Lasorda.
Gracias. Okay.
Hey, Howie, where's Howie? Howie, where are you? Where'd Howie go?
Howie's
Howie's going to come
to
up.
your right.
And then after
We're going to
then
hear
comes
from the Penguin.
Howie, and then
Howie.
after we
I want to hear from
know
the
how to close.
Yeah, I
Mr.
just,
Singh.
I
That's
just
what
want to
I
say
wanna
thank
hear
you on behalf of the Dodgers and the Dodger organization. You know, I know the community is something that's very involved in the team and in LA as a whole. It's just very important to get your community involved. The fan base here is unbelievable. And without our fans, we are nothing. So, you know, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Dodgers and the community and the council for allowing us to be here and be a part of this. And, you know, it just means a lot. So come out tomorrow, Fan Fest, show your support, and hopefully we'll have a good time.
And Mr. President, you know that I'm up here without any talking points.
and doing well.
Right? So, but this isn't hard. You cannot grow up in Los Angeles and be Angelinos like you and I. And I know you're an import, but I'm a lifelong Angelino. My family got here in 1910. My father got here in 1941. I grew up listening to Vin Scully talk about Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale, Johnny Padres, Phil Regan, Maury Wheels, John Roseboro, Tommy Davis, Willie Davis, Frank Howard, Bill Skowron, Willie Crawford. Who was at first base?
Ron Fairley,
No, before that.
Parker,
Wes Parker, right? Frank Howard, right? See that ball go over Frank Howard's head? My cousin and I would come up to the stadium and run down the stairs. There was no security in those days. Grew up just loving the Dodger experience. There's a man sitting to my right who's been a Dodger 66 years of his life. Can you imagine that? 66 years. And he is the embodiment of civic spirit and the embodiment of what it is to be a Dodger. He's played and been in every capacity with the organization. He is known throughout the world as the ambassador of baseball and the ambassador for our great Los Angeles Dodgers. If we can, Tommy, can you come up and give us a word, please? God bless you.
Thank you very much, and thank for that wonderful reception. I'd like to say to the council members, thank you for making this day possible for us, Dodgers and the Warriors. You know, these guys, the Warriors, they've done some kind of job in their days. They represented the United States in the greatest fashion, and they were unfortunate, but they had to give something up for their country, and they gave up arms and legs, but yet their heart, they could never take the heart away from them. And to all the fans, we appreciate your support. We got the greatest fans in all of baseball. I said this many times, this game doesn't belong to the players. It doesn't belong to the owners. It belongs to the fans, because if you don't have any fans come through those doors, you're going to have to shut the doors down, and you're going to have to shut the game down. So we need you people, and we need you to keep supporting us. But unfortunately, we hadn't been able to give you the one thing that you want so bad. But I feel good. I feel it in my bones. I think this is going to be the year where we're going to raise that flag.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And Mr. Cedillo, I do think on behalf of the council, to all of our servicemen and women, thank you for allowing us to walk around free and do whatever it is we want to do. We do that because of you, and don't think that we don't appreciate you on a daily basis. I'd like to defer to Mr. Krikorian, Mr. Cedillo, if I may. So, Mr. Krikorian,
Right
for a
before I
few
do-
words.
Right before that, I just want to make sure, because it's rare, and you know the lore of this city. In fact, I think the last time when I first worked for the city for Mayor Bradley, we won a championship, and Ron Say was part of that team. Where are you, Ron Say?
Right behind you.
There you are.
Right behind you.
And then Oral Hershiser's here, right? Is that right?
Where? I see him in the back. All righty. All right. Yeah. He looks like he could still throw a fastball.
Tom remembers having lunch with him at Larry Nicola's. With that, I defer to you, Mr. President.
Mr. Krikorian.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And what an honor it is for all of us to be here with our team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. In the last half century of this city's history, much has changed. Generation after generation, year after year, the city changes. Neighborhoods change, people change, industries change. But the one thing that remains constant, generation after generation for over a half century, is this city's love for this team. And Mr. Cedillo mentioned earlier, and I think all of us who've been here for a long time share that experience of our earliest memories in life being cheering for this team, listening to Vin Scully broadcast this team. And all of you, especially the newer players, you're part of that legacy now, and you're part of this city's history. You're part of this city's DNA now by wearing that uniform, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I couldn't be more proud to be here with all of you. But I want to say something else, too, about this team and what it means to this city. On May 3rd this year, the San Fernando Valley Rescue Mission, a homeless shelter in my district, burned to the ground in the middle of the night. 15 families, homeless families, lost their one place of shelter when it burned down. And many of us here in the council, immediately tried to come to their aid. The one phone call that we made that was probably the most impactful was a phone call to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And that came about because one of the little boys, one of the little homeless boys, his name was William. He was living in our temporary shelter in the park, and he was really sad. And when the leadership of the rescue mission went and asked him why he was so sad, he talked about having lost his blanket. One of the few items that this little boy had, this little homeless boy, one of the few things he had was this blanket. And they said, well, don't worry, William, we can get you another blanket. And he said, yeah, but it was a Dodgers blanket. And when we told the Dodgers about that, within 2 weeks, the Dodgers had donated money to help these families. The Dodgers' wives had started gathering things from their own closets and from their friends to help sell at the thrift stores to help support these families. The stadium was opened up for donations. The stadium parking lot was opened up for donations. And within 2 weeks, all of those families and families that had been in that shelter were invited to come to Dodger Stadium for a game. And William was presented with a Dodger blanket and a cap by Clayton Kershaw on the field, on that sacred field of Dodger Stadium. And it just says so much about the heart and soul of this team. This team is about more than winning games. It's about winning games. Don't make no mistake, it's about winning games. But it's also about what this team means to the soul of the city of Los Angeles. So we're here to support you. We all know how much you give to the people of Los Angeles, and for that we're very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
If Mr. Koretz, if you could just stand up, show the Dodgers what we have right here on our own city council. We have the intimidating Paul Koretz, second baseman.
I actually don't know what to say. I'm almost speechless. This is such a wonderful day. I'm just so tickled pink. And as Paul Krikorian said, yeah, wrong color. Sorry about that. As Paul said, the most important thing is the Dodgers are really the soul of our community. We've all grown up watching the Dodgers. Not only has it been a great team, but it's been so great for the community. The Dodgers always give back. The Dodgers always help. I thank you so much, Mr. Cedillo, for bringing some of the legends of our time here to this council chambers. I know we are all so honored, and I know this is going to be the year. So I look forward to watching our new addition, Howie Kendrick, playing on that field, and I know we're going to do great this year. But you always do so many great things. The Dodgers are Los Angeles. Thank you.
Yes, they are. Mr. Cedillo or Mr. Labange?
The Dodgers do many things, as Mr. Krikorian just spoke and Mr. Koretz spoke. But I think it's very special today that we have the Wounded Warriors and the veterans here. And I want to ask Kenny, or Kenny's not here there, Russ, get a hand mic for us right there, because I think it's real important. Because when I was visiting with Tommy Lasorda, who is one of the greatest guys in the whole wide world, I was talking to him about Willie Crawford, who went to Fremont. And then sitting me right there, that young man went to Fremont High School, a Wounded Warrior, United States Army. And tell me your name. Mr. Celeste, give him a big hand there for that. But every memory that you have as a child is when you go to that big stadium, that big, beautiful stadium. That is, I think, the second oldest stadium in Major League Baseball, but it's just like brand new. And it's so nice to see how it's kept and the revitalized and all the work that is done. I just wanted to thank you. I have one thing I want to try to do there, Mr. Cedillo, but I don't think you like it. I just want to know if number 66 can catch a ball. Huh? That's all. There you go. Ready? Oh! He saved you.
Mr. Cedillo.
I know.
I cannot tell you how excited I am.
Miss Martinez has Mr. Labange under control. Do not let him go, Miss Martinez.
You know, I got to take a picture of Sandy Koufax this year. He looks like he could still pitch a no-hitter. Let me finish by thanking all my colleagues and everyone for giving us this time. Let me thank my colleagues for giving us this time. But there's also something, as Coach said, why we're here, and we're here for two reasons. One, Saturday we have the Fan Fest, and we open up the stadium to everybody in the community to come and see the Dodgers and take pictures and just enjoy themselves at the ball game. They don't have to sneak in like my cousin would try to make me do when we were young. And then the other is to honor these warriors. And it's a really important service. We heard last night, and we were there with the mayor during the homeless count. We heard about leadership, people like Bobby Shriver, who's been just gnawing at this thing like me on the driver's license, just constantly speaking up for our veterans. And then leadership, institutional leadership, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who structure into their life, as Mr. Krikorian so eloquently said, more than a team. They are an institution of the city, and they are the embodiment of the generosity and spirit of the city. And we see it no greater than their commitment to the wounded warriors. I want us to hear from one of them right now, because they make time in their year simply to take them to lunch, simply to say thank you. And so let's just hear from one of our warriors right now.
Thank you. Come on, everybody, give them a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Sergeant First Class Laureano, U.S. Army. It's a pleasure to be here, to get to meet the Dodgers. You know, never met any baseball players in my life, so I'm blessed. And I'm blessed to serve my country and serve you all.
God bless you.
Mr. Cedillo,
So
to
with
close.
that, as I said earlier, those who have noticed that it's time for lunch, we've got some Dodger dogs upstairs, and so everyone here is welcome to join us and our great team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, for lunch. Thank you so much, colleagues. God bless you. God bless the Los Angeles Dodgers, and God bless this great city and this country. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Labange would like for us to take a picture, so if we could get our Dodgers and our veterans to come into the horseshoe, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Where's Manny Mota?
Oh, and this meeting is adjourned.